Thank you so much for joining us here at Indigo Moon, where we do care. We have people in armed services, the military, who retire and have no place to go. Why is that? I've been to the Veterans Center and I see that they have different programs in place. But we have a lot of armed people in the armed services who are homeless and are not being cared for properly. Is this because they don't know where to go or who to turn to? We have to have some systems put in place where we don't have our military people having to suffer so harshly. You know, if you're not ranked a certain way, or should I say, because I don't really know how that system works, but what I do know is that I've met a lot of senior people who are veterans and they're homeless. You know, you're at a bus stop and one will be there sitting with in a wheelchair looking out into space. Some of this churns, or should I say, some of this actually causes mental instability because they don't know and they don't feel that they're cared for. There has to be some outreach program or some system that's put in place where they are able to speak to someone, to be able to receive the necessary help. And again, I've been to the center, a few of them actually. I've been to one in Florida, in fact, two in Florida, two different parts of Florida. One in Philadelphia, South Carolina. So they definitely have the buildings and they seem to have certain funding. And whenever you reach out and you fill out a job application, they ask you if you are part of the armed services because they are supposed to grant you the job first. So what's going wrong? If something is going wrong, is there someone or a department in Congress or even at the Veterans Center that's actually able to reach out to certain communities? I haven't seen this happen in middle class or upper class, middle class or upper class neighborhoods, but I have seen this in poor neighborhoods. So if that is the case, is this the only place that they can turn? There has to be, we have to figure out different systems because we have people who go into office after people vote for them to make improvements, and they make all sorts of promises, but somehow the people are still suffering. If we begin to focus on the lack and figure out ways in which we can fix that lack, perhaps we'll have a better balanced country, a better balanced world. People actually fought in the military to protect us. So if they protect us and they come back here and they're unprotected, where did we grow? Because again, we are affected by each other. What affects you should be affecting me. As you know, as they say, the water balances at a certain level. So if it reaches that balance at one level or another, is it helping or is it hindering? We have to figure out better ways in which to help ourselves. Helping others sometimes is helping ourselves, because if that person is lacking, we live in the same neighborhood, what ends up happening? Property value goes down when you look at it from that atmosphere. You can be my neighbor. If I'm not caring for my property correctly, I'm not cutting my grass, the value of our neighborhood goes down. Or what about the value of people? If we have a system, that is devaluing people, what does that mean? It matters to all of us because it soon reaches us one way or another. You can't have a neighborhood that has, let's say, people fighting and it not reach another neighborhood, just like our schools right now are being affected because we didn't handle the problem in the beginning with the bullying. Now it reaches a whole different level. It's important that we realize that these people made sacrifices for us. So how are we to pay them back? In this country, in this world, we have to come up with a better system so that our people, the people of our country, our world, don't have to suffer. What will it take? We need to figure something out. Thank you so much for joining us today, Indigo Moon.